During this year's NBA All-Star Weekend, artist Victor Solomon, who has incorporated basketball into a lot of his work, he teamed up with Nike and put out a trophies collection that was just absolutely bonkers. And nearly 5 months later, he is back with a follow-up and sequel to that collection. And I might like this one better. Victor Solomon, Nike Air, Foamposite 1, Trophies, Black. Now this shoe is dropping on July 22nd on sneakers for $350. It actually already dropped at the Las Vegas Shoe Palace back on July 10th. It is a bonkers price, insanely expensive, but with a collaboration with someone like Victor Solomon, who is known to produce very expensive and luxurious pieces of art, it's not exactly surprising. And this is of course the 2.0 version of the trophies collection. It just swaps out the white to black, which I absolutely love. I'm a black sneaker lover. It also includes black Air Force Ones, black Air Max 90s, and I believe those are also dropping on sneakers. I love the look of all of them. But this shoe is obviously the most special one out of them all. First impressions of the shoe, just Michelin star rated delicious. This is so well done. When you feel these in hand, when you see it, you just feel like you're holding something quite special. The colorway is really nice. I like this paisley type of pattern overall, and just a very simple white on black. I think it works really well. There's not really much to say. I don't even love tons of gold on sneakers, but I'll get to more on the details later. But this, yeah, it just works. Something about it works. And the box of the shoe, it is custom branded, of course. Victor Solomon branding on the box itself and his signature gold. And you actually see the lid has that paisley pattern too. And it is a pull-out box with more gold inside, and the paper inside, you will see its custom paisley pattern as well. And what's really nice are these shoe bags, and you will see even the shoe bags have these gold drawstrings. And the materials of the shoe, of course, it is Foamposite material, and if you've never felt this, kind of feels like hardened rubber. So there is a little bit of give when you press down, but it is still a very durable type of material, kind of molds to your feet the longer you wear it. And the way they make this kind of look is they heat up polyurethane to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. They pour it into a mold, and once the liquid cools, it forms this very distinct shape that's actually inspired by a beetle. And the reason why foams in general, even since 1997 when it first came out, was $180 back then. The reason why it's always been so expensive is because the mold is very, very expensive. Now throughout the decades, the foams has changed a little bit in terms of the shape. So it's not as chunky or as bulky as the 97 shape. So it has slimmed down a tiny bit, and the foam material I believe is also slightly softer. I don't have an original 97 kind of Foamposite OG colorway in hand to do a side-by-side comparison, but it is not exactly like a one-to-one exact identical replica. But this material still, even in 2026, so many years later, is still very unique, very special, one of a kind. And the design on this foam is also very distinct and very unique. So you see this paisley pattern. I've always really liked that pattern. I think it looks nice. I think even though it's loud, it's still pretty wearable, and it's all white. And on the eye stays itself, it actually comes in leather. So the original foams and recent retros of foams has come with synthetic nubuck, but this, it actually comes with leather eye stays. And you will see this mini swoosh at the lateral side down at the bottom there. And the tongue itself, instead of being a mesh tongue like you see on a regular Foamposite, it actually has the pattern, like the paisley pattern, and fabric all throughout. So the breathability of the shoe is not going to be very good. Foams already had pretty bad ventilation. You only get these 5 holes at the bottom, but before you at least had a mesh type of tongue. This, you do not get that. And instead of a penny 1 cent logo, you will see just this Nike swoosh in the middle of the tongue there. And the pull tabs itself, it is actually leather. So that also is a change to a usual Foamposite. Now in terms of the ankle lining here, that paisley pattern extends over here. That is fabric too, so it doesn't come in synthetic nubuck or leather or anything. and the tongue itself is actually connected to this booty here. This inner booty kind of wraps around your feet like an extra pair of socks, and you will see on the inside ankle lining here of this foam is actually slightly elevated too. So you get like this almost pleather-like material over. But of course, the most kind of loud and bold thing about this shoe, it is the laces that come out of the box. So these chain-like laces in this gold aesthetic, that is like a staple for Victor Solomon. He uses gold quite a bit, and you'll see the detail on this is insane. So you get these tabs that's in the shape of a basketball with his signature on it as well. That is just insane. And when you actually take out the chain laces and just hold it in your hand, it does have a little bit of weight, so it doesn't feel like cheap, really crap plastic. So that's bonkers. And it does come with one extra set of laces if you want something a little bit more wearable. You get these black flat laces with middle-like lace tips as well. So that is something more wearable, but still maintaining that kind of elevated look. Just really love what they've done here. And it also comes with these two extra lace debris. Not exactly sure how to utilize it on this shoe, but it is there. And it has Victor Solomon's signature there. And on the other side, it says All-Star Weekend LA 26. And wrapping around to the booty of the shoe, you will see embroidered there Victor Solomon's logo with the swoosh there too. So no penny 1 cent logo. Now in terms of the cushioning of a Foamposite, it does just come with a full-length zoom air unit with another zoom air unit on the heel, so it's actually double stacked. And the outsole of the shoe, like a lot of other foams, comes in the semi-translucent type of rubber material with majority herringbone traction. And the penny 1 cent logo, the only one you'll see over here. And it also comes with a carbon fiber plate, so that's really good too. It extends slightly up onto the shoe, really helps with rigidity, side-to-side stability, as well as kinetic energy return without really adding much weight. Carbon fiber is a very, very lightweight material. And in terms of the insoles, you do get Victor Solomon insoles. The fabric here is actually kind of nice, but the quality of the insoles, yeah, a little disappointed. It is not polyurethane insoles. It is not the best. I think they could have came better there. And in terms of sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer. For general release foams, I just go true to size. Fits me pretty much like 1-to-1. It does require some break-in time, but once you break it in, it molds to your feet. This shoe is kind of odd because out of the box, these chain laces, you can't really like tie it up very kind of tightly. You're not really supposed to use it like traditional laces, so you kind of need a fit it's a little bit more tighter than a usual foam, unless you go with the extra laces where you can kind of customize the fit a little bit. If you don't have wide and flat feet, I hesitate to say, but if I had to make a recommendation, I don't have like narrow, normal, non-wide fat feet, you may be able to go down half a size, because even the material on the ankle lining here, it is that pleather-like material that's very, very smooth, and that makes it kind of easy to slip your feet out. So if you went down half a size, leave the chain-like laces like as is without being able to really tighten it, that might be a better fit. However, I have wide feet. If I went down half a size, the lack of arches in my flat feet would really start to hurt, but the sizing overall on the shoe, yeah, it can be a little tricky. And in terms of just overall comfort, the foams are a decently comfortable shoe, pretty flat to the ground, carbon fiber. If you're not used to wearing a shoe with carbon fiber as a casual shoe, might take some time getting used to. It is still a pretty bulky, like heavy type of shoe, but I just really like how it molds to your feet over time. It is a pretty comfortable shoe. I wouldn't say it's like the best, especially in 2026. The kind of lack of softness in the cushioning area might be the weak point in terms of casual use, but honestly, I don't think you're going to have many problems. And that brings the total sole score of the Victor Solomon Foamposite 1 Trophies Black to 43.5 out of 50, a very high score compared to other collaborations. Now first, it is colorway. I gotta say, it is delicious. 10 out of 10 for me. I'm a black sneaker lover, so when they used black here instead of the white, like the first version of the shoe, I was super happy with it. And the paisley pattern, I've always been a big fan, and I think it just works on the shoe with the colors, with the gold. I'm not someone that likes too much gold on my sneakers, but the way this is done, it just feels like you're wearing something special on feet, and I can always swap it out for the black laces. I really dig this colorway. And in terms of the materials, foams are just one of a kind, really unique material even in 2026. It is durable. I do like some of the material changes they made to the shoe to elevate it, with the paisley textile extending onto the ankle collar there, with the tongue as well. It just feels like they put extra attention to the shoe overall. And in terms of the comfort, the foams, even though they're pretty heavy, can feel like a brick compared to like older other Nike like Dunks, Nike Air Force Ones, all the Jordan retros. It is pretty comfortable. I could wear these kind of all day without any problems, but I wouldn't want to wear a foam like every single day of the week. I think it just is a little too flat, a little too lacking in like softness of someone that is now 35. And in terms of the versatility of the shoe, I think the foams in terms of the shape is still bulky, like kind of out there. I wouldn't say just to a general audience who doesn't care about sneakers. This is the type of shoe they would choose to wear for a ton of different settings in terms of the wearability of the colorway. One cool thing about foams are the boldness and insane designs that they can apply to the shoe, but oftentimes that means the wearability of it also suffers. But I think the paisley pattern here with just white on black actually lends itself to a very wearable colorway. Even with the gold, that might be the only loud thing about it. However, I still think it's tastefully done. I think it's actually quite a versatile colorway. And in terms of the storytelling, there's no like kind of theme behind the shoe, like in terms of at least like relative to A Ma Maniére or some shoes that are kind of culturally specific or country specific. But all the details, all the branding, just the minute you get the box, to unboxing it, to seeing the laces, insoles, to seeing the pull tabs on the laces itself with his signature kind of throughout, but kind of subtly, very nicely executed. The storytelling is delicious too. There are a lot of bold, outstanding foams that are very nice to look at, but just very hard to wear. Even the Galaxies, like that's a bold design on a shoe to put on your feet. But I think these are different. These are bold, but I still think they maintain a level of wearability that is easy to pull off. It's very loud, very unique. People are gonna look at it, notice it, but it's not gonna be like, you know, that guy's got like stars and galaxies on his feet. I think these just all objectivity. I don't really follow like Victor Solomon's work or anything, but just these sitting on a shelf, in hand, in a vacuum, delicious. So that's it. Thanks for watching. So Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Victor Solomon Foamposite 1 Trophies Black. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.